Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of The Session. It's so great to be back. Oh, let me get this out of the way. Man, I hope y'all been having a great day. I know I have started the NBA season. Oh, let me get that out the way. All right, y'all. Like I said, man, welcome back to The Session, man. And today we're going to talk something really important. Because I'm really disappointed today. And my disappointment comes because one of my childhood, or I ain't gonna say childhood, but just growing up, I really admired him, man. Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas, man, is an entertainer now, but he was by far one of the most electrifying point guards we've actually got a chance to see in the NBA. Played for the Wizards, played for the Nuggets. I want to say he was with Portland for a bit. Like, he had a decent little stretch. He had a nice career, but when he was with the Wizards, he's most known for bringing guns to the locker room, right? Him and it's actually a documentary out on it right now where they talk about it's called Shooting Guards, I want to say. Yeah, it's called Shooting Guards, and they talk about it. They talk about his involvement and him kind of just not necessarily being the main character solely in the situation, but just how it all turned out. And if you haven't watched it, man, I suggest you go watch it. Matter of fact, let me get the full information on that because it was a really informative documentary. Because there was a lot of stuff I didn't know. Like, I really thought he brought guns to the locker room and they were about to have a full shootout. But what it really was he did have guns. He was a gun collector, but it's just deep. It was deep. Let me see. There you go. Untold. Shooting Guards on Netflix. Definitely go give it a try. But, so now that I've covered who he is, reason why he was one of my heroes, back in the day, man, is how you cook somebody in basketball that really made me a fan of Gilbert Arenas. And he had like a quote that he would always do. It's called hibachi, right? Like he cooking, you know what I mean? He cooking. And I took that and was like, bro, I like that. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't a fan of a lot of players in the league, but it was like LeBron James, Gilbert Arenas, Allen Iverson, guys like that. Ray Alston. Definitely anybody who was in that category, I was a fan. So now, fast forward to today. Gilbert Arenas started off Gil's Arena. And Gil's Arena, I'm talking about dope, right? YouTube channel, which I feel like it was all the COVID rush. And, guys are on TV, but they're also kind of, doing their own thing. And this is before the new media movement, right? And Gil's Arena was getting people through like a lot, especially where ESPN and all them really didn't have anything to talk about. He would have guests on, he would have people, that we hadn't seen in a while, and it was actually pretty intriguing, right? But Gil's Arena got really popular, and I want to say last year around January, it just really took off. The NFL, the Luka trade, the Luka Doncic trade, like a lot of that really just made people kind of aware of Gil's Arena, and they were a show that was like on like four or five times a week. So it was really dope. Like, it was really interesting because it was something to watch, and it was something like, hey, I'm into it already. I'm already a fan of the NBA. So now I have this insider podcast. And this is before I think we were even aware of Paul George's podcast. I don't think Pat Bev had a podcast out yet. I know Carmelo and them did not have a podcast out yet, like that 7 p.m. at midnight, whatever it is. It wasn't out yet. Like, it just wasn't out yet. So Gil was one of the first to really, hit the ground running with the podcast game or with the YouTube channel in general. So he makes this deal, right? And the deal is very upsetting. So the deal, wait, you know what? Did we do this? I'm sorry. I got to show y'all. I like my homepage, but I got to put this up here, man, because I need a little time for it on there so I can grab this photo later. But anywho, he made this deal with Underdog. And after he made this deal, they took his channel. And we're going to get to it. So let's look at the channel now, right? This was Gilbert Arenas' channel, right? It, like they say here, the arena is what happened when a 3-time NBA player turns his basement. What does it say? There we go. Into a studio to talk sports and other forms of with other former pros on a daily basis. Underdog production with unfiltered looks at the trending topics of the NBA, NFL, with Gilbert Arenas and company breaking down all of the action. So I could keep reading, but they have the original cast, which is the Gil's Arena cast, and then Joshua Johnson, who's Marcus Johnson's son, Brandon Jennings, shout out to Bucks, Kenya Martin, Lexi Brown, Rashad McCants, Nick Young, and they have a host of other people coming through, right? But then on the gridiron side, I only got to say one name, and this is why it hurts. Skip Bayless. Like, Skip Bayless he got signed up to do this, and I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't watch it because of that. Like, I can't stand Skip Bayless's voice. I don't want to hear his takes. I don't want to hear his arguments. FS1, ESPN have completely burnt me out from a Skip Bayless, anything he's on. And like, this is deflating, and this is why I'm disappointed. So I refer back to this because this happened last week, right? And Lowe, shout out to Lowe, like, he really had to, he really did what I feel like a lot of people should do. And it almost feels like, yeah, they wanted this to happen. It almost feels like it's something going on. Like, I've been seeing other people make videos saying, like, Gil knows he's got finessed, or Gil is, feeling bad about this deal. But the deal was just really dumb. And I don't think it was done in good faith. I think it was done, and he explains it. We're going to watch the video. We're going to go through it, and I'm going to, point out some things that I understand, and I'm going to point out some things that I think is just really just like a BS excuse. You know what I'm saying? Because you got played, and you don't know how to save face, because a lot of people don't. A lot of people feel they're not wrong. Man, if I made a deal and that deal is getting me paid, because it's all about the money. And that's the problem. It's always about the money. Means you'll go for anything. You'll sell yourself for anything. So let's take a look at the video. Let's take a look at the beginning and see how it all, how it's playing out with the deal, because this is their questioning about the new situation.
I was gonna ask how often y'all gonna do it.
2 times a week. 2 times a week, brother.
Oh, man.
Hey, we a podcast.
We already show.
I just wanted to see how often y'all was gonna do it, because I see other things going on. So I was just asking.
Right.
Well,
and let me be fair. Let me give you the context. He started off asking them, with the new changes, how often are you going to be able to do, the basketball show, the main Gil's Arenas. Well, Gil's Arena is not just basketball. It is definitely sports, news. It just has mostly NBA crew or vets from the NBA.
Well, Lo, according to reports, I know you're trying to be messy and instigate, but according to reports,
I'm not. I'm asking a question.
Hey,
this
be
is
messy.
This is a very low. No, this is a very serious question. That's it.
Be messy, please. We need it.
I'm just asking how often y'all gonna do the show on a week to week basis. How often?
We've gotten 2 full days to do the show. We'll be on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Just 2?
Yeah.
That's the information we were given. 2 days.
Yeah, not 5.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Not like go from 4 to 5. We're gonna go from 4 to 2.
Okay, and I think I said his name wrong. Is it Josiah? Yeah, I think it's Josiah. So him, Josiah, he is, I get what he's trying to do. Like, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to not, he's trying to keep it professional for the sake, but I believe they're all in the same understanding that this deal was done prior to all of them, and that none of them like it, but for the sake of relationships, he has to be the one to kind of say, hey, I know you're being messy, but it's like you can tell from Gil's response and even Brandon Jennings' face down here in the corner. Hey man, they know that this situation is out of their hands. And they'll get to that in a second. He'll explain that in a second.
Hey, Lo. You see, like Lo, look, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now, you know what makes it even crazier, but it's cool with me because I got other jobs and I got other plans. You see them 3 trophies right there? 1, 2, 3. That's 2025. That's what we won. And then we won one.
We have got to the point.
All right. Let's while this plays through, let me be clear about something. That trophy stuff, the deflection is wild. Because if that mattered, this wouldn't be a thing, right? If your accolades and what y'all did meant a lot, then they would not be cutting your show down from 4 times a week to 2 times a week.
We won Telly Awards. We won some Telly Awards, and we won Webby Awards.
I know Webby. I don't know about no Telly.
Yeah, we won Telly and Webby's, and we got 2 days now.
Wait, why are y'all niggas acting like it's somebody else's arena? It's Gil's arena. So why y'all only doing it twice?
No, nigga, it's the arena. Soon as the cops put the motherfucking cuffs on my crip, the Gil was taking.
All right, so let's just be fair about this, right? That's an honest question, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so upset. So upset is because you sold them out, and now your rationale is, well, I got into some legal issues, and that's why they took my channel completely and dropped my name, even though you are, co-owner of said channel. So it really doesn't make sense how you're, telling us, oh no, man, it's his business, this is blah blah blah. Like, bro, it ain't that deep. Because why couldn't they just start their own channel? You know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't they just do their own thing? Why did they have to take, your channel and do that? Like, that just doesn't make sense. But if that's what you want us to believe, Gil, then okay. But I don't believe that, bro. I believe this was always in their cards, and you just didn't know how to tell, the other guys, look, bro, I don't have creative control.
Now, Del Reed, I could have rolled with him. All right, shit, I can't even.
All right,
It's a little bit.
So, and we got this.
What does that say on that, Brandon? I can't read. My eyes, my vision is blurry now. What
It's presented to Gil's Arena for passing 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
It does say Gil's Arena on that.
Yeah, we going crazy, but we only own 2 times.
Why you got the small one?
Huh?
See that? Y'all see that now? Like I said, bro, I think it's something deeper because they're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they're visibly not happy with what's going on. So why is that? It's yours. This is your stuff.
Why you got the small one?
Is there?
I don't know. They didn't give us the big. I don't know why the big ones didn't come out.
I don't know.
They switched them though. The big ones they don't do the big ones. Small joints.
So I got a trivia question for you guys. It's a multi-part question. The chat, you can chime in as well. What was the most viewed sports show on YouTube in January of 2025?
January? You mean January, February, March, April, May, June? What?
And July. Okay.
Gil's Arena.
Oh, you mean all the way until we took a break?
Until we take a break.
Oh, Gil's Arena.
Yeah, those are easy.
That's I just
So it's like, so y'all just cutting it out so so the football show can breathe, or what y'all doing?
Yeah. Lo, these are great questions.
I think we got to wait till the.
You know what it is, Lo?
Season's over.
And here's the business part.
You have to wait till the football season is over.
Oh, okay. So from the business
So
side,
y'all got to get the fuck out the way.
Y'all gotta get.
No, from the business side of it is.
Hey, wait. I'm sorry. Before Gil gets in here and says his piece, let's be clear of what just happened. So they just put it out there. They were the most top watched sports show from January to July, and I think July they took a break for the Olympics and whatnot, and they still were doing their own little things and whatnot. I think they were doing like social media stuff, but they weren't doing the show. And then I feel like they were, doing a lot of hooping, a lot of Big Three. Because Gil played in the Big Three, Swaggy P played in the Big Three, so it made sense. And then I think Brandon Jennings was doing his camp. He was doing a lot of stuff with the Bucks. So they were the top show. You know what I'm saying? On YouTube, and you were still signed to Underdog then. And that's why I said I feel like it's a lot of disdain or a lot of upset feelings about it, but you guys let it happen. So let's hear Gilbert's business excuse of why this is the case.
When it comes to like fantasy and betting companies, for some reason football generates more money. Right? So like football season, on how everything goes every week, a lot of these companies make a lot of money during the football season. So how they're going to do for the year is depicted on football, not basketball. So no matter how great our numbers are, business-wise, football generates the most money with the fantasies and all of that. So it's not about how great our show is, it's how much money is generated through the sport. We were just an anomaly. No one knew we was going to bust out like we did, right? They had us as basketball, and they had like 9 football shows, and we was outperforming all of them combined.
Times 10.
But you're saying y'all generate more for fantasy, not from a viewership standpoint.
No, we do both. We outperform everybody in both categories.
I'm saying for y'all though. I'm assuming the reason why is because they are willing to provide more for the football show.
Yeah, I guess it's they got a football show that they think can help them get those numbers that they're looking for. So they want to try it out. So they're going to try it out for this year and see what happens.
Shout out, man. Shout out.
So you see what he means. They're going to try it's all about gambling. It's all about the money, right? And that's what I said earlier. And the one thing that I really hate about all of this is, so I've learned in the last few years, right, from people in high places, that your ownership is much more important than your talent. You can be as talented as possible. You can be the greatest of what you do. But if you have no ownership over what your over your content or what you've created or your intellectual properties, what are you really doing? You're slave to someone else. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't own it and someone else can come and get it from you without you making any money or making your dollars off of it, and you being able to keep this forever to say, 20 years from now, this is mine still. You're a slave to the fans. And if you make it, and if someone pays you to create this without it actually be, continuously being yours, or a deal where both of you split it, but both of you putting in the work to produce it, then what? You're a slave to that partner. Like, you're never going to be your own person. You're never going to be considered successful if you don't have some ownership, or really ownership, not some. You got to have ownership, because as we've seen in this era, it's so easy to take you to court and steal your, the parts that you say you own. It's very easy to buy people out without them having a choice. Like, it's just the way the world works. And yeah, I know some people say it ain't. That's because y'all don't have the money to do it. But the people who have the money to do it will do it. And they'll make it so easy. Like, you see what happened, what he said. The moment he lost leverage when he got arrested, he no longer had the real leverage to make decisions. So who cares about the 50-50 split if they have a clause in the contract that stipulates you have to maintain a certain level of this or that, or every company has it. Every company has it. So if you mess up online or you do something stupid, just like we just saw a couple weeks ago with the lady at the Brewer game, you tell a guy who you thought was just a regular Hispanic guy, hey, let's call ICE on him, shut him up, and he pulled that reverse Uno card on you, and he happened to be a vet and was recording you, and now you're viral, and now you have to quit your job. Now you have to find other means of making a living. Isn't that the same thing Gilbert Arenas is dealing with? You said you did the wrong thing, something happened, and now you have to figure it out with your own channel. And it's egregious. It's disgusting, because it's not just you, it's your people. Yeah, you might be fine, but what about them? You know what I'm saying? What about the Kenyon Martins? What about the Brandon Jennings? What about the Nick Youngs? I ain't gonna say they need the money. They probably do need the money, because it's good money. But at what expense? With no control.
No, but low. I'm gonna be on playback. We're gonna be on playback, low. So yeah. So I'm gonna do my thing, low. It don't matter. We're gonna be on here.
Yeah.
We just ain't gonna be in the arena.
Although I got that media credential too for
we're gonna be in office, low.
Okay, I gotta go to Milwaukee, for sure.
We're gonna be in battle mode, low. I might shit. Hey, look, to be honest, low, I got so much time. I might fuck around, come to your crib. Oh, what you doing over there, man? You know what I mean? Have one of those 24-hour streams.
No, we're not doing that. But I hear you. I hear you.
So we have a question.
24-hour stream, low.
I'm not doing a 24-hour stream. What the hell?
Gil, we have a question from 2K God. He said, question from 2K God. He said, if football is popping, why did they have to take over your channel? Why couldn't they make their own channel and make that pop? Question mark.
That's what we would have said. That was the argument. But as a family,
am I asking too many questions?
No. As a company, no. As a company, you don't want to start from the beginning. Most people don't like the grind of anything, right? You know, they want something that's already turnkey and go. So why should they start from the beginning? Listen, we are expensive. We're not your average podcast expenses. We get paid a lot of money. So because they pay us a lot of money and we not taking no pay cuts in here, if they say your ass gonna do 2 days a week and we want to try what they do for 3 days a week and we keep our money, hey man, hey, do your thing, man. We'll see. Shit. Do y'all thing, man, right? Because at the end of the day, we can say, oh, hell nah, fuck that. And then they start cutting contracts. So if they want to go ahead and try 3 days a week until football season's over with and then recheck their hand, cool. Everybody still got their jobs.
Employment is key.
I can tell you this. I can tell you this. With the way our contracts is doing, they could say, hey, man, we're going to let about 6-7 of y'all go.
All right, so that's enough, I feel like, of that. And I think y'all get my point. But it's more. It's more. It's more that happens with this situation. Because yesterday, right? Let me see if I can find this travesty. So this dude decides, like, and maybe this is like what they told him to do. Like, I think this is a underdog scenario. But if you haven't heard of Neon, like, this guy is streaming with Neon yesterday. And let me okay. I don't really want to give this dude views. But I'm gonna explain who Neon is. So Neon is like a little Middle Eastern dude, right? He's a streamer, very famous streamer, but he's famous for the wrong reasons, right? So he was just recently kind of outed as being a racist. Okay, when I don't know why he's on this tour. He was on a tour, basically, and he stopped at the Breakfast Club. And you know, I'm not really understanding what the purpose of him going up there was, but for some reason he thought the world forgot about his hatred for, you know, brown people, even though technically he is kind of one. Like his dad, I think, is like Israeli or something like that or whatever. But he has this crowd that stays with his chat of racist people. You know what I mean? Like, they just definitely just hardcore racist to where, you know, it was hurting his streaming career. So I don't understand the reason why Gilbert Arenas would even be like involved with this guy in the first place. Because, like, bro, you are an NBA legend and you out here playing with this little dude who don't even like black people. Like, he don't like you, he don't mess with you. Like, I don't understand the whole point of it. So let's look at this, bro. Like,
videos?
Since I was 12.
You probably have my cover at home, right? You got the cover of the video game?
I think
you
I
got
do.
the cover of the video game?
I'm gonna be honest, I do.
All right, it was it was one of these. It was one of those. Huh? Hey, I just activated the new player. You know? Wait, how?
okay, so you out here with this little young punk, and it's bothersome to me because, like, you giving this dude clout, you giving this dude juice, like, and it's weird because he's trash. Like, look at this, bro. And I'm not gonna knock him for the views. I'm not gonna knock him for anything that he got going on. But just look at that. Look at that thumbnail. Does that even make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense to you? As a fan, as an NBA fan, would you have ever thought you was going to wake up and see this dude playing one-on-one with a well-known racist just a week after selling out his channel to Underdog for sports gambling? Would that have been something that you was like, yo, I expect this type of behavior from Gilbert Arenas? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I think the legal troubles have taken a toll, and I think that for him, this is the easiest way to go about it, like to handle it, is to capitalize, because he did at one point have a deal with ESPN, and we're not sure what happened with that. We're not sure if it's seasonal. Maybe he's only in when they need him for like NBA action, but at this time, because the season's over, he's not there. Maybe because of, you know, contracts between the NBA and where the games are getting showed. Maybe that changed what was going on. But either which way, I feel like Gilbert Arenas lost some fans today. And he didn't lose me. I'm still a fan. I'm still going to watch the arena. I'm still tapping in because, you know, the crew is dope. And I'm a basketball dude, and I really enjoy it. And it's funny to me. I'm just disheartened because it's dropping down to 2 days a week. And we don't know what's going to happen with the future, because when you lose your control, they can do whatever they want to you. If they decide his numbers don't hit the way they want them to, hey, they can pull your show. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then imagine if your legal troubles don't get better. Now what are we expecting? Are you going to stay in power? Is your show going to be available next year? or even this season. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to wait till February to figure out what they're going to really do with your channel, my guy. And that's crazy because as black creators, and this goes for anybody, not just black creators, anybody, any small creator who is doing this for the love of the game or doing it for the money or whatever you're doing it for, you would want to build your platform. You would want your platform respected. And in order to watch it grow, man, you got to own it. And I think that's the wildest thing, is to sell off a part of it solely because you feel it's pennies to your grand scheme of, you know, the dollars. Like, King Media is more than just a channel, more than just photography or videography. It's the all around, right? And I don't feel comfortable selling one part of King Media just because it booms. You know what I mean? Like, if my channel blows up and I get 1 million followers, I would still feel more inclined to keep my channel mine before, or even, you know, partner up with people. I want to partner with people, but we're going to have an understanding of creative expression and ownership, because this is going to hinder his creative expression. You don't get a chance to go in there and say what you want to say. And they're proving that right now because they're limiting the time you have to talk in your own studio. So what does that mean? I can come into this studio any time of the day and say what I want to say. Yes, there are guidelines in place. There are rules to be followed. But as long as I'm following those rules and I'm in those guidelines, no one can hinder my voice and tell me what I can and cannot say. Now, you yourself, that subject matter that you might want to touch topic on, there's analytics now behind it where if they don't think it's hitting the fan base, they don't want to talk about it. Or just like we don't like about ESPN and Fox, you know, sports, there's a certain level of topics that you got to hit that you have to talk about. You have to talk about the LeBron Jameses of the world. You have to talk about the Cowboys. You have to talk about the Eagles. You have to talk about world champions this. You have to talk about these things, where that might not have been something that you needed to speak on because it just wasn't relevant to you. But now that Underdog is a part of this, Underdog can make and say whatever they want. And I get it. It's definitely for the longevity, because he's like, he says it later on that their contract is only for, I think, a year, or for the next, till the next year. But it's been, you know, they've been under contract for a while. And that's how contracts work, especially with production. You know, y'all create something or you have a campaign for something. They want to put it out there. It might be a 2 or 3 year deal. Hell, it could be a 1 year deal. Hell, you could have a 6-month deal just to promote something, right? But it's all about how you write it up and, you know, think of it. Now, my only concern is what happens when it's over. Do you get your channel back? And are you going to throw the Gil back in there? Because you just took the name out, right? And you're still Gil's Arena, but now you're on the arena. And, you know, maybe it's growth. Maybe it's something that they both came to the table, and he will introduce different shows on the arena after. And that was just the platform. That was the way that he was looking at, to have them build the infrastructure for the channel. Because he does say that. And I agree. It is a smart play if they're going to build the infrastructure and leave you with the keys and allow you to, you know, grow from that without there being any like recoup, like, yo, we need this back or we didn't want that back. Because that could happen too. Like some people are calling it a 360 deal for that. And in some ways it could be. But if he is able to walk away with ownership and final product, then it's a lot different than the standard music 360 deal. So let's just hope that that's the way it goes. Let's just hope that this doesn't turn out to be just a fugazi. You know, I don't want to see Gil get finessed out of his channel. I don't want to see the show that we all enjoyed, you know, last year for that long period of time. I don't want to see it, you know, brought down just because, you know, you got some people in your ear now that, hey, they have profits in mind. They have their own agenda in mind. And we don't really know what their agenda is. You know, they Underdog they can have something totally different in mind than what we've been getting, and that right there is what scares me and everybody. It should scare everybody, because think about what you do this for. You know, you do it for the exposure, you do it for the love of it or whatever, for the topics or whatever you got going on. But then what happens when somebody just wants to come in and buy what you built and then, you know, tell you what to do with it? How does that sound? You know, how does that make sense? And that's capitalism. That's the world we live in. But it doesn't have to be. You know what I mean? It just doesn't have to be. Because like I said, man, one thing I'll remember, it was probably like 4 years ago now. So I'm at DreamCon. And I think I had maybe 2 to 3 years in of King Media, but it was solely photography, and I might have only had 10 videos up. Like, I didn't have a lot of videos up. And what I did was I went to, it was a panel with Carl Jones, and it was my first time actually seeing Carl Jones in person, because like I knew him as Thugnificent, I knew him as one of the creators, and one of the illustrators, but I just never saw his face. So for me, it was kind of intriguing. Like, oh, okay, black man, you know what I'm saying? And he's not too old, he's not too young. It's not like, you know, it was kind of relatable. Like, damn, all right, so this is a lane, you know what I'm saying? This is an actual lane for people like me, especially in the world that we live in. Like, you know, you go from hip hop, rap, music, or, you know, arts, spray paint, blah, 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 different mediums, to where now I'm like in this video realm and I'm taking photos and I'm getting hired to do certain jobs for certain people. And it's like, damn, like, I want to know what I need to do to make it. And his first advice was protect your own brand, protect your own IP. And none of us in the crowd really knew what he was talking about, because we like, you know, we trying to get on and we don't even understand what our properties are. Like, what do you mean by our content? What do you mean protect your brand? Like, I don't have a brand yet. And it's like, you do. You just don't promote it. You're not nurturing it. You're not creatively adapting your brand to your scenario yet. But everybody has a brand. Everybody has something they're known for. And how do you cultivate that brand and then make it, and then be able to monetize that brand? So that's the thing. None of us, whoa, let me rephrase what I'm about to say. There's no handbook for that, right? But there are people who can help you get to the level of where you can monetize your brand. But you have to do the work to create and build and nurture said brand to get to a point where people want to buy from it or, you know, be a part of it. And that's what we have to protect. And I think that's what Gil, just somebody didn't step in and tell him early. Like, look, bro, yeah, these channels, they're getting the views, and yeah, you probably getting, you know, a lot of good money, and you don't think that money is all the way, you know, part of everything that you do. But that's the thing. There's millions of dollars in those views. There's millions of dollars in this independent media thing. So yeah, the small creators, we're not seeing that money, you know what I'm saying? But it's a trickle down as long as you're working. So imagine where you can be 2 to 3 years if you just continue on. If you battle in and you lock in and you do what you're supposed to do and promote yourself properly, right? If you have a great product to give, people will come. And I think that's what Gil, he half understood, and he's regretting it now. You know what I'm saying? He's like, right now, I could hear it in their voice. I could hear it in all their voice. They don't like it. But I understand that he made this deal before they got big. But he knew that this was going to be big. But that's also something, you got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself that regardless of the obstacles in your way, that you're able to make it and that you can do better than what you did yesterday. You have to believe in that. And I don't know if Gil fully believed in that, but I think he now regrets that he didn't. So That's yeah, man. That's my spiel. And like I said, man, I'm really disappointed in the Neon situation. I really didn't think that was going to be a thing that I would ever see, especially after the whole especially after Neon being exposed for just who he is. Like, let me see if I could even find, because that's the one thing I hate too about these creators. They are getting so much clout and so much like help where it's like, bro, so let's see here.
New projects, yeah.
Oh, so now you just pissed off all the Jewish community?
Oh, no. I love Jewish people. Shalom.
You just came on here to just shit on everybody.
Nah, you trying to get me caught up, brother?
Hey, brother, it's great. Why you put the A at the end?
Brother is hilarious.
That was crazy.
What's the crazy situation?
You can't say that.
How did you end up streaming with Kanye?
That dude is so.
I seen something with Neon that was crazy. You know, I don't even speak on Neon because of what happened in the past, and that's okay. I'm entitled to feel how I want to feel. Seen him on the Breakfast Club and he got killed. They was frying him. Do I feel like they should have made it a more professional interview? 100%. I seen something with Neon.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Hi. Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, you're a ma'am.
Ma'am, that's what I said.
But if we were really assholes, we wouldn't have had you up here. And as soon as I heard about the Kai thing, we'd have told you get the fuck on. Disrespecting somebody's mom.
I just feel like at the end of the day, you can't hold something against someone if they're changing and becoming a better person. And understanding.
How do we know you're changing? And how
well,
do you
don't
people to really believe you when you build your whole platform on being a liar?
Of course, and no one has to believe me. And at the end of the day, if you don't want to believe me, you don't have to believe me. But if you actually sit down and watch my streams and understand the growth, then you see it. And if you don't, it's fuck you. It's like at the end of the day, I'm not here to prove anything to people. I can do it the best I can. People can judge me. I don't care.
But if we were,
see what I mean? You see what I mean, though? Like, is the money worth it just to, you know what I'm saying, get some exposure from the far right guys that are trying to hide behind the keyboard and act like they're not who they are? Like, we already in a climate where it's a lot of cowardly, delusional people that get on the internet and just say weird, wild stuff, knowing that they're wearing Jordans, that they're wearing LeBrons, that their favorite, actress is black, that their favorite girl at school is Hispanic, or you know what I'm saying? Like this is the world we live in, where these clowns are getting opportunities to play one-on-one with Gilbert Arenas, even though they hate his guts secretly or openly, but because they have sponsorships or they have deals, they're gonna go along with the flow, and everybody's gonna be honky dory and yeah. Like, get out of here, bro. Stop it. But anywho, man, if you like what you saw, man, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Drop a like. Again, thank y'all for watching. If you made it this far, I humbly appreciate you. But send me get in the comments, man. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if I'm just tripping. Let me know if maybe I'm just taking something a little too out of context, or who knows? Maybe you with me on the whole thing and you see it as a disgusting situation all the way around. Like, it's just a bad week for Gilbert Arenas. But just let me know in the comments, man. And again, man, thank y'all for joining me, man. Y'all have a blessed one. I'm out. Peace.